reading our book about beaks. And today we're going to talk about a pouch. Can you say pouch?
Pouch.
Clap that word.
Pouch.
It's also bolsa in Spanish. Bolsa. So it's kind of like a bag. It's something that can hold different things. So it can be any size. It can be small, like a coin purse or coin bag. It can be like a sack. It can be Thank you for being good listeners and not talking over me. So just things you can hold things in. What are some different things that you know of that can hold things? Like a pouch. Nicholas?
A credit card inside of a bag.
Yeah. So a credit card goes in a pouch. Amra?
A purse.
Mm-hmm. Malik?
Car keys.
Car keys, yeah. Kingsley?
A wallet.
A what?
A wallet.
A wallet, yeah. Randy?
Phone.
A phone, yeah. Another type of pouch is something you've probably seen this animal before, a kangaroo. A kangaroo has a pouch to carry their baby kangaroo.
And the kids.
Yeah, so it's something that can carry things. So we're going to see a bird today that has a pouch with its beak. All right, let's turn and talk again. What are some bird beaks that we have learned about so far? Turn and talk to a partner. Tell me about their beak. What does it look like? What is it? Raise a quiet hand. What are some bird beaks we have learned about so far? Logan. The spoonbill. Tell me about the spoonbill.
The beak is like a spoon.
The beak is like a spoon because it's round and it's flat, remember? What does their flat beak and round beak help them do, Andres? What? So catch fish, but they swish around in the water. Remember, swish back and forth like this so they can find the fish. Randy?
Skimmer.
What about the skimmer?
The skimmer's beak is different, like the other one is different.
Mm-hmm. Look at the skimmer's beak. It's very what? Long. Hussar. It's skinny, so thin. And it's, what's that word we talked about? Uneven. Why? Why is it uneven, Malik?
Because one of them is small and the other one at the bottom is big.
Yeah, it's long and then shorter on the top. All right, so today we're going to talk about three birds, a heron, and a pelican, and another bird we'll get to in a second. So let's start with the heron. Look at the heading. Where's the heading at on our page?
On the top.
At the top. What does the heading say? A stabbing beak. A heron also wades, but it hunts differently than a spoonbill. So the spoonbill, remember, wades in the water. What's another word for wades? If it's wading, it's walking. So it's walking in the what type of water? Shallow, good. A heron walks slowly through the shallows, pausing frequently to study or look at the water. When it sees a fish or other animal, the heron quickly stabs its beak into the water and seizes its prey between its bills. So if you think about stabbing, it does it really quickly so it can catch it, and then catches it between its bill or its beak. Herons are strong birds and can catch and swallow surprisingly large fish and other animals. How can we describe the heron's beak? Nicholas? Long, sharp. Anything else, Treasure?
A little beak.
Yep, pink, reddish, yellow. What other verbs or adjectives? Long, sharp, Amron?
At the back of the beak is the round.
Okay. Anything else? Is it thick or thin? So long, thin, and sharp. All right, look at the pelican. What does the heading say? A plunging beak. Plunging, wow. Pelicans, a pelican fishing is one of nature's most thrilling spectacles. Wait till you hear about this one. When a pelican spots a fish, the bird folds its wings and dives straight down at speeds up to 40 miles per hour. As the pelican crashes open mouth into the water, the pouch, notice the pouch there, on its lower bill puffs out to net its prey. So think about having a net and you scoop it up, scoop something up. That's kind of like what their beak is like. So this pouch right here is part of their beak. After the water drains from the pouch, so just like the flamingo, it's like a strainer. The water drains out, and what stays in?
The fish.
The fish. The pelican swallows its meal, but only if a sneaky seagull doesn't steal it first. So let's look at this part of its beak, or when it has a fish in there. What is their beak like there? Nicholas? It's what? Thin? Big? Okay, it's big because it has that big pouch to hold the fish in. Anything else? What about when the pouch is not open? What is its beak like? What? Thin. So here it's thin, and then when it has the pouch, it's thick, right? All right, let's take a look at some of these two birds. Here is the heron. The heron has a stabbing beak, remember? So it's slowly looking for the fish. Oh, didn't get it. All right, let's watch the pelican. Yes, Silas. We can after we finish today. Okay. I promise. Logan? Yeah, it did. All right, here's the pelicans. So watch some of them diving quickly into the water. So we get an idea of how they dive into the water and then use their pouch to catch that fish. Amron? Oh, I think it said something about a seagull. So maybe they steal it. All right, let's talk about our last bird. This is a crossbill. The heading says a prying beak. Remember when we talked about pry? That verb? You remember what pry means? Yeah, Maverick, what are you doing there? starve to death with its screwball beak. However, the crossed tips of its beak allow the bird to pry apart the scales of pine cones and other cones. So what does it mean? Let's make sure we're on our carpet circles, crisscross, eyes up here, listening to our last bird. What does it mean to be crossed? Can you cross your arms? So it goes across, right? Good. This exposes the cone's seeds, which the crossbill laps up with its sticky tongue. Despite their strange beaks, crossbills also eat fruit, insects, and the other seeds of plants. So here's the pine cone that it talked about. Its prying beak opens up. So here's a better, closer picture. Notice how their beak goes across each other. How else can we describe its beak? It's crossed. What else? It looks sharp at the end. Logan? Yeah, they are. Randy? It is black. It actually doesn't eat fish though. It eats fruit, insects, and seeds from those pine cones and of other plants. All right, so let's talk about the crossbill a little more. The sentence said, however, the cross tip of its beak allow the bird to pry apart the scales of pine cones and other cones. That's a long sentence with a lot of information. So, however just means like, on the other hand, because it says, it looks like it would starve to death. However, so it's kind of like talking about the opposite. The crossed tip of its beak. What is it's talking about? Its beak. Whose beak? Or what beak? Logan? The beak of the bird, which is the crossbill. So we could replace its, that's a pronoun that replaces the crossbill's name. Read it with me, ready? The crossed tip of its beak. And we kind of talked about what crossed looks like. Show me crossed, just with our fingers. Kind of like the beak. It's crossed over like this. Allow the bird. Tap that, or clap the word allow. Allow. We start with that schwa because the A is by itself in its syllable. Allow the bird. What does allow mean? If your family allows you to go outside, what does that mean? Malik? Yeah, so maybe you ask them and they say yes, they're allowing you to do it because they're letting you do it. If you say, can I go outside, and your family says no, are they allowing you to go outside? No, they're not letting you. They said no. So allow means the beak is letting the bird pry apart. Show me pry again. Pry. Show me. Pry. Kind of like open, and we have a tool that helps people pry, but he's prying open the door. Does it look easy or harder to pry?
Harder.
A little hard, right? So to pry means we really have to work at it. So that's what the crossbill has to do. And our final part is to pry apart the scales of a pine cone. What is a scale? Think of scales of a snake, scales of a fish, scales of the pine cone. What does scales mean? What do you think, Amra? Huh? Kind of like skin. Okay, it's on the skin. Okay, Nicholas? So those pieces of the pine cone, right? So they kind of open those pieces to get to the seeds inside. And this is a pine cone. It comes from trees. Have you seen a pine cone before? Sometimes they fall off onto the ground. There are different shapes of pine cones too. So there are seeds in there that the birds like to eat. So here's the crossbill, and these are thinner pine cones. Notice how it sticks its beak inside and gets the seeds.
Inserting the upper maxilla under the scale. Beak partially open, the bird uses the curved mandible as a lever, twisting his head as he pries up the scale.
So let's practice that sentence with another bird. The blank beak allows the blank, so what bird, to do what? For example, the crossed beak allows the crossbill to get seeds. I want you to turn and talk to a partner and choose one of these birds to fill in the sentence with. Okay? Turn and talk to a partner. 2, 1. Does anyone have a sentence that they can share? Treasure?
The skinny beak allows the hummingbird to get nectar.
Good job. Randy?
Eagle's beak is curved.
So you could say the curved beak allows the eagle to, what does it allow him to do? What's he doing there?
On the rock.
Yeah. What's it doing to the fish though? Remember that verb we used to tear? So allows it to tear the fish. Yeah. Arnaldo?
The hummingbird have a long beak for drink nectar from a flower.
Good job. Awesome job. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to our notes today. We have 3 birds we talked about. They were the heron, pelican, crossbill. What are they? Heron, pelican, crossbill. Remember, for our notes, we did not have to write the full sentence, just the adjective and just what the beak helps them to do. Eyes up here. So for the heron, what can we say? The beak is